Okay. Hi. I just got back from a meeting with Governor Kemp and several other like game industry leaders and stuff like that to talk about like the tax cuts and how that affects the game industry and how we contribute to the economy and things along those lines and just kind of like helping them understand the perspective of like the game industry and how that is like actively um, driving a lot of what's happening within like the entertainment industry and how the tax benefits help us in order to keep doing that and the things that are moving forward with games like esports and how that all kind of like goes out and whatnot. So I if you couldn't assume or whatever, I was the only black woman within the whole meeting. I was the only woman there that was there from a tech background and everything, and I was definitely the youngest person in the room that was talking about everything and my business and so on and so forth. And I kind of like gave my perspective and how I feel that like my particular demographic of like the little gals and how we further perpetuate things moving forward within the industry and how like we apply to all that. So I will say that last night I didn't really get much sleep, and I was definitely anxious about the event, but it wasn't because I was probably going to be the only black person there, the only woman there, or the youngest, or whatever the case may be, but just like the context that I wanted to ensure that I conveyed it in a way that like everyone could understand without getting distracted by my the anomaly of my presence. And that was kind of like what had me, with all my jitters and whatnot, in accordance to everything. And just like as the table went around to introduce themselves and speak on their point and how their business affects the state and the industry and economy and so on and so forth. And I was definitely there as the sole voice for the smaller companies, the little guys, the little gals, and how we also contribute to that point. Like, I don't have the perspective of being a CEO of a company that makes millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands or not making a lot of money right now, but we're doing something. But just the case of, whenever that they spoke about how Georgia is creating talent and talent getting taken away and going off to California or wherever, or companies are competing over things in order to make sure that they have enough people to make these resources and do all the things that they want to do that, keeps their business successful. Um, I'm that perspective. I am the perspective of the talent of the workers, of the employees, and the small business and entrepreneurs that are working a full-time job, but also hoping to work on their game or whatever on the side to harness their skills so that they can also kind of like make their own name for themselves and be competitive enough to attract the attention of these, big companies and so on and so forth. And I just wanted to like when I walked in, everyone was polite, of course. Like they just, hi, we're happy to have you here. They shook my hand. They gave their name. They went back to their seat, so on and so forth. But my bad. It was definitely just like it was formality. It was just general cordial politeness and things along those lines. But whenever that it came to my turn and I kind of just shared my opinion of like why I'm staying in Georgia as one of the the cogs that we need to actually do the things that make money, and the point of view of like I grew up in California and I grew up in different places in the South, and I came to Georgia and I wanted to stay in Georgia, and I'm starting my small business and the things that I'm doing and like just the cool stuff that I'm doing, because I'm definitely doing some bomb stuff. I'm really proud of Urchins and Ink. Like, I've got this language learning game, and I'm doing this stuff, and I'm, trying to kick off my own business, which after I finished and, I'm gathering my stuff to get up, people walked over to me and asked, like, about how I'm doing, and that, like, they liked my story, and that they wanted my business card, and they, encouraging me to move forward, and just kind of like, hey, it kind of like reminded them of, like, 16 years ago, however many years ago, they also used to be like an entrepreneur that was just trying to grab the funding that they can, or whatever resources that they have, in order to build up and become these things. Like, I rolled up in a parking lot with a Toyota Yaris that I'm still making payments on. And there's like Teslas and stuff around me, and like custom vanity tags, and I'm just like pulling in, like, still making payments on this, but I'm here. And just like the fact of the matter of just like, I came in and I said my piece, and like the big thing of like, I'm not an anomaly. Like, there may not be someone who matches all my characteristics, or a chunk of my characteristics, or whatever, but like there's definitely black entrepreneurs, black creators, female creators, there's young creators, there's all these people within the industry, and the fact of trying to keep us here and show us that we are important, and having like, the tax breaks that like we can reach the threshold in order to do that and stay here, and not go off to some place that offers us more money, like offering the advantages within a state in order to keep us here to build the, like, the economy that these big conglomerates are, like, managing, and so on and so forth, is still important. And my perspective from the trenches is that, like, yeah, like, not everyone necessarily may be able to flip it and to become a multi-million-dollar, like, game industry or game studio, or whatever the case may be, but we out here. We are out here. And again, I'm not an anomaly. I'm just like the sample size. So me walking into the room, like, I'm not the only one, and I just wanted to convey that point of just like, even if like I'm doing some cool stuff, there's definitely like 10 other people that I know that are still doing amazing things, and like they deserve attention, recognition, and the support and funding that they need as well. And me just coming in there, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't lost on, oh, I'm the token person that's there, or whatever, however the case may be. Like, I didn't want that to be the taste that I leave in a mouth. I'm the sample size of the potential of the little gals and little guys out there that are busting their butts in order to, establish themselves within the industry, and to establish themselves as entrepreneurs within, like, what we have going on. Like, I'm the chair of the IGDA, and I hope to, pass on whatever information I can to, like, the people that I'm interacting with that are on the same level as I am, and a level below me, and reach out to the people above to remember, y'all used to be down here too. So, we deserve a cut of the pie as well. We're small mouths, but we can take some big bites in order to keep, everything in. So don't overlook us, because like, I as an individual don't make $1 million, but the collective that I am as the talent that they're trying to keep around, and we're what makes the $1 million, and I just want to make sure that y'all know what's going on. So it was definitely, I don't know, I feel like I stood on my 2 feet well enough in a way that I left the impression that I wanted to leave, and people were interested in getting my business card whenever that I left, and that kind of like makes my anxiety calm back down, of just like, I think I did all right, and moving forward I'm going to keep doing okay, and just like, again, sample size. It's not strange that I'm doing this, but like, I want to encourage more people, as many people as possible, that look like me, that have whatever other demographics, small business, whatever, female, black, go on and so forth. Y'all could be in that room too. So keep on trucking.